Hey, I'm Liz from No Trace. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix a small hole in pants or jeans like this one that's popped up over on the pocket area. And in order to do this repair, you just need a needle, thread, and interfacing. I'm going to walk you through it. It's very beginner friendly, so let's go. Let me show you the materials you need to fix a hole in your jeans or pants or really in anything. So first off, we need a needle and a thread that matches whatever you're repairing. You also want a piece of fabric that blends well or totally matches whatever you're repairing. This is the closest one that I have. And I'm going to also show you how to use a little bit of interfacing for this repair job. This is Pellon SF101. It's a cotton-based interfacing, which is nice, so a little less plastic. If you don't have interfacing, I have another tutorial that shows you how to repair using no interfacing, so that is in the description box below this video. And I also want to show you what we're going for, what the finished look looks like. So this is a small hole in the knee that I repaired with a fairly close piece of fabric. The closer your fabric and the smaller your stitches, the less noticeable your repair is going to be. So just keep that in mind when you're picking your fabric and picking your thread, but this is kind of what we're going for. The first thing to do is to tidy up the hole. So if there are some loose threads or some fraying, you can go ahead and cut that. And then it's also a good idea to iron the area that you're going to be repairing. So I'm going to give this a real quick press at the iron. All right, I've ironed the hole and I also trimmed away some of the loose threads. So what I want to do next is I'm actually going to fold this raw edge over towards the back, and I'm just a little bit, like between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to iron it back so that I have a nice fray-free zone to work with. Okay, it's looking a little bit better, and the ironing doesn't have to be perfect. That just helps a little bit for the next part. And the next part is to get the patch, and we want to put it behind the hole, and we actually want to pin it in place to the pants or whatever it is that you're repairing. So I am just going to get my straight pins, and I'm going to pin the patch onto the hole. All right, the patch is pinned in place, and at this step, you might have to just take a minute and just fold the crease in place again that you created after ironing. And I've gone ahead and I've threaded my needle with a double strand. That just means I folded the thread over and then I brought the two ends together in a little double knot. And I tend to be a little bit of a minimalist sewer, so I don't have tons of different thread colors, but ideally your thread matches your fabric really, really well, and then your stitches are going to be less visible. So if you want to hide the repair, get a thread that blends really well. But if you are more minimalist like me, just use the best thread that you have on hand. And now I'm going to start sewing this folded edge onto the patch. So I'm going to flip my pants around so that the opening is right in front of me. And I'm going to bring my needle from the back of the pants, from the inside of the pants, to the front. And what I want to do is I want to just catch this little folded edge. So I'm pushing my needle right through, real close to that folded edge, and then I'm just going to go right back in, right into the patch. And I'm kind of locking that folded edge in place with a stitch, just like that. And then I'm going to move my needle down just a little ways, and once again I'm going to catch that folded edge, whoops, and make a little stitch. And I'm just going to keep doing this, bringing the needle from the inside of the pants to the outside of the pants and making a small stitch right on that folded edge. And every now and then I'm going to have to retuck this raw edge over so that it's nice and there's no fray. Fray-free zone is what we're going for right here. So I'm just going to keep sewing and I will be right back. All right, I'm just going to show you how to get the pocket back on in case you have jeans where the pocket kind of got ripped off. So I sewed the fabric onto the patch, and now I'm going to do a few stitches on this seam section of the pocket to kind of hold it down here, and then I'm going to go across and keep working on my tear. But I'll probably do a little reinforcing here, here, and right here to keep this section of the pocket really secure. And I'm doing a really simple back stitch right here. So I'm coming from the front, or sorry, from the inside of the pants to the outside. And then I'm going back to where my first stitch ended. And then again, I'm going to go about 1 stitch length ahead. And then back to the start of the previous stitch. So I'm just connecting the stitches from end to end so we get a really secure new seam on the pocket. All right, I finished sewing the patch all the way onto the tear in the pants, and I am just going to finish off on the back by making a little knot, just finding a nearby stitch and tying off my thread. And now there's just a couple steps left to do. I want to trim away some of the extra patch, so I will cut it so that it's about 3/8 of an inch from my new stitches. And I, of course, I'm only cutting through the patch, and I want to do this part very carefully so I don't make a new hole in these pants. And as usual, I am going to save my tiny bits for my tiny bits bin. These get repurposed as stuffing or used in creative artsy type projects. You can also compost your little fabric scraps if they are natural fibers. I've turned my pants right side or wrong side out for this last step, and that is to get a little bit of interfacing, and I want to cut it so that it's going to cover the patch. So I'm just going to open this up a little bit and sort of lay it on top and make sure to cut a large enough piece so that the whole patch will be covered. And this interfacing has a rough side where the glue is and a smooth side. So I want to put the rough side with the glue on top of the patch. So the smooth side is on top, the rough side faces down, and then I am going to press this so that it adheres to the pants so that this patch doesn't have any loose edges that will fray over time. And it'll help this area of the pants feel more smooth when you put them on. I used a little bit of steam to get this interfacing on, and then it's a good idea to test the edges, make sure that it's totally fused with the fabric, and then your repair job is finished. The hole is fixed. These pants are ready for use, and if you have more repair projects sitting around your house, I am linking to a playlist underneath this video full of other tutorials for how to fix things.